morning, everybody. It looks like today we have a pretty interesting message. This one's called "Shake It Off," and I guess we'll see what it's about here. I have a perfect plan for your life, so trust me and try to see things from my point of view. When things don't go quite the way you expected, shake them off. Look up at me, shrug your shoulders, and say with a grin, "Oh well." Then just let them go and move on. This simple act of trust will keep you from weighing yourself down with little frustrations. With enough practice, you will discover that most of the things you worry about aren't that important. Your energy and time won't be wasted on things that really don't matter. And you'll have the strength to deal with big problems when they do come your way. You know that thing that's bothering you right now? Shake it off, and let's move on together. This one's pretty interesting. It's not very different from the things we've heard. However, it is very, it has a good way of putting it, I must say. Now with this one, I have kind of an idea about, how this entry described the idea of, just simply, letting things happen, and trying to accept little things and move on. And of course, for some people, that's pretty tricky. So that's especially important, probably because, our newer generation, a lot of people refer to as snowflakes, or I don't know, snowflake people, which, of course, with that being an obvious instance of how, people who are born in just, the conveniences we've already had, and, the digital age, and of course that is a term usually coming from older generations who went through more hard work to get to the things they wanted, and which, I can't complain because I'm kind of a snowflake too. I'm not really ashamed of it, but it does kind of prove as a problem sometimes. And, stuff like this it's easy to hear messages like that in your life. Since it's so hard to adapt, especially when that's your nature, it's hard to just move on from stuff, and it's hard to accept the advice because you've already kind of brushed it off like, they just want me to get over it, that sort of stuff. It's understandable, but the advice itself is pretty good too, but with that sort of thing, and, how people process emotions differently, it's like stages of grief, kind of. How you're kind of expected to move from this and this and this stage, and but really everybody kind of grieves their own way, and it's pretty evident this day and time, but people in the old times just used to suck it up, and like a more severe form of shake it off. Not severe, just not as emotionally open and flowing. But, I like how it kind of gets you to consider, like, this idea or notion in a more productive way, makes you think, well, I could be dealing with so much better things with my time and energy, So, and especially also in this day and age, another important note is how I'm not really trying to stereotype anybody, but, entitlement in the modern generation is no joke, It's just so many people who expect to be in return for about, anything. And if anything, that's the reason they have stereotypes, for like describing Karens, and the like. And, well, I mean, modern America may seem like it hasn't made, even though, there are some things that need to be dealt with, but overall, people just really need to, get over some things and get over their own entitlement and self-centeredness. And, but at the same time, I understand in the realm of mental health, there is kind of a crisis and an increased focus this day and time. And that's important too. In this day and time, when we have things, most of us have things pretty darn easy. And, especially because we're just wired to try and search for a greater meaning in life. And not only is it about God, but of course it is, but it's also about, some of us will try to create new problems for ourselves, so that way we have some sort of, at least something stimulating or, drama-inducing going on in our lives that kind of makes it less dull, which some of us can even dread, and most of us will. Anyway, this is just a good little chunk that, our older generations might, appreciate, and we might need to learn how to use it for ourselves as well. And, just to get stronger and move through life with discipline and reprioritize our goals in life. So, thanks, guys. This one was longer than I intended it to be, I suppose, but I had a lot of interesting stuff on this one. So, thank you for being here, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.